New York Yankees beat the Toronto Blue Jays 8-5, and to start off the game in the first inning, Gardner actually opens up with a solo shot home run, and he's one guy that doesn't provide a lot of home run power. And Aaron Judge, who was the second batter in the game, followed that up with a solo shot home run of his own. And then Gardner, besides the home run that he got for an RBI off of that, he also got a 2-run triple that gave him 3 RBIs in the game. And then Judge had one, and then Drury, I think that's how you say his name, got a 2-run double. And then Gregorius in the later inning would eventually get an RBI of his own. Now I never understood this because there's two different types of terms in baseball. One's called a pass ball, and then you got a wild pitch. I can never understand the difference because they both looked like the same to me. Severino pitched the game for the Yankees. He got and he's actually having a pretty good year, 14 wins and 2 losses. But he struck out 5 batters in the game. J.A. App also did pitch a good game. But he did strike out 5 batters, but he also had a tendency to walk 6 and was knocked out of the game pretty quickly. He didn't last more than 2 innings. And he usually goes deep in his games. He usually pitches about 6 or 7 innings, but today that didn't happen. And of course, it was almost 3 innings actually. In the 3rd inning, he was removed. He did pitch 2 full innings, and then he started off the 3rd, but then was removed after facing a couple batters. But he did strike out 5, and he walked 6 and gave up 2 home runs. Let's see what else we got here. And then the Cardinals beat the Giants 3-2. Martinez for I think it's Martinez that pitched for St. Louis. He got the win. And then you got the Atlanta Braves beat the Brewers 5-1. Now I'm trying to think of who the hell was pitching this game. Okay, Sanchez for Atlanta won that game. It was his 4th win of the year. And then Wilkerson, who was pitching for Milwaukee, lost the game. I think this might have been his 1st game of the year that he pitched. Now in this game, Camargo drove in 2 runs. Freddie Freeman drove in 1, Markakis drove in 1, and Flaherty drove in 1. Sanchez won his 4th game of the year, but he's got 2 losses. He struck out 8. And then A.J. Minter would actually come in the 9th inning and close it out by striking out all 3 batters that he faced. The only run that Milwaukee got was an RBI single by Miller. And then the Rays beat the Mets 3-0. Let's see what we got here. Like I said, Tampa Bay beat New York Mets 3-0. Snell got the win. It was and he's actually pitching a pretty good year too. 12 wins and 4. He's got 12 wins, and this win that he got today was his 12th, and he's got 4 losses on the year. Matz for New York took the loss. It was his 6th of the year, and then Sergio Romo for Tampa Bay saved it, and it was his 9th save of the year. And Wilson Ramos, ever since Tampa Bay acquired him from whatever the hell the other team was that he played for, he's actually been having a pretty good season. Snell pitched 7 innings and struck out 9. And then Sergio Romo, who saved the game, struck out 1 batter, but got the 9th save of the year. Even with Matt's taking the loss, he did pitch a pretty good game too, striking out 5. And then Swarzak struck out 1, and whatever the hell, I can never say this guy's name right, Gesellman. or Gisselman, I don't know how you say that, but he struck out 2. And then the Astros put an ass whipping on the White Sox, because the White Sox lost 12-6. Charlie Morton for the Houston Astros got the win. It was his 11th of the year. He's actually pitching a pretty good season too. This win was his 11th of the year, and he's got 2 losses. James Shields, and I know he pitches better usually, but James Shields is actually having one of the worst seasons that I've ever seen. 3 wins in 10. He's only got 3 wins in a year, but this loss today was his 10th loss of the year. Now, when it comes to the White Sox, they only had 1 home run today, which is, I think is how you say his name is Avisail Garcia. He actually got his 9th home run of the year, but he's actually came off the disabled list. So, of course, it's going to take him a while to get those RBIs going. James Shields did pitch a pretty good game in the aspect of striking out batters. Struck out 9, he walked 2, but he still ends up getting the 10th loss of the year. Some guy named Rondon struck out 1, and then J5 struck out 1, and then Manaya didn't strike out anybody. Now, when it comes to Houston, they've had a couple home runs in the game. You had Yuli Gurriel hit a 6th home run of the year. It was a 3-run shot, and then Bregman hit a 2-run homer. Charlie Morton struck out 8 batters while walking 2. Harris struck out 1, McHugh struck out 2, Giles struck out 1, and then Joe Smith struck out 2. Now, the Colorado Rockies beat Seattle Mariners 5-1, and Oberg got his 2nd one of the year, while Paxton, who pitches for Seattle, took the 3rd loss of the year, but he still got a pretty good record, 8 wins and 3 losses. Most of the runs that the Rockies scored were on home run. Were actually 3 of the runs that they scored were on a home run. Carlos Gonzalez for Colorado actually drove in the first one with an RBI single. Gene Segura for Seattle would tie the game on a solo shot home run, which was the only run that Seattle would get today. And then Cuevas, or whatever his name is, homered to left, and his was a 3-run shot. And then Geraldo Parra would hit a sac fly that would give a little bit of an insurance run. And it was not a safe situation. So Wade Davis, who pitches for Colorado, did not pitch today because it wasn't a safe situation. But Freeland would struck out 4, and he gets a no decision. Oberg struck out 2. Ottavino struck out 3. Oh, actually, Wade Davis did pitch today. Never mind. But it was not considered a safe situation. Paxton struck out 9, Bradford struck out 1, and Nicasio struck out 1. Now we go to the Rangers and Tigers. And the Tigers beat the Rangers 7-2. So Detroit beats Texas 7-2. Fires would get the win. It was the 6th of the year. And Cole Hamels took the loss, and Cole Hamels lost his 8th game of the year. Shinso Chu got 2 hits in the game, and I think he's got an on base streak going, and I think he's been on base for 46 straight games compared to and that combines hits and walks. The only 2 RBIs that they got was a solo shot home run by Odor, who was 23, with his 23rd RBI, and Chironis with his 36. Cole Hamels struck out 2. Matt Moore struck out 6. Cole Hamels was actually knocked out of the game because he was responsible for all 7 runs within the first inning. And then Claudio struck out 4. Now, when it comes to Detroit, Castellanos got a solo shot home run, which was his 15th of the year. But Fire struck out 6, Hardy struck out 3, and Wilson didn't strike out anybody. And Wilson, the guy's the first letter is A, then Wilson didn't strike out anybody. Now, get up there. Having trouble reading this. Yep, here we go. And it says the Cardinals beat the Giants 3-2, but I think, like I said, I think it was Martinez that got the win. Yep, Martinez got his 6th win of the year for St. Louis Cardinals, but his record's still not great at 6 wins, 4 losses. Jeff Samardzija took the loss for San Francisco, and he lost, and it was his 5th loss of the year. He's only got 1 win and 5 losses. And then Bud Norris for St. Louis would save the game. It was the 17th of the year. And Samardzija was a player that I was not too happy about the Cubs trading. But Martinez does help out his own calls with his 4th RBI. He got an RBI double, and then Fowler got his 21st RBI. And Fowler's actually been struggling this year, so I don't know what the hell's going on with him. But he's batting 168 on the year, and I know that he could do better than that. But Martinez struck out 3, Hicks struck out 1, and Bud Norris struck out 1. Brandon Belt was responsible for both runs that San Francisco got. He got a 2-run double. Jeff Samardzija struck out 3. Holland didn't strike out anybody. Dyson struck out 1. Guerin struck out 2, and Melanson struck out 1. All for San Francisco. And then the Philadelphia Phillies beat the Pirates 3-2. And I think Arrieta got the win for the Phillies. That's another guy that I wish the Cubs would have kept and made a better offer to, but they didn't want to. Yep, Arrieta is actually not having the best year pitching-wise, but the win he got today was a 6th win, but that's also he's got a 500 season going, meaning he's got 6 wins, 6 losses. Taillon for the Pirates took the loss. It was the 7th loss of the year compared to 5 wins, and then Arano got the save for Philadelphia. It's his 2nd save of the year. Jake Arrieta struck out 8 batters, while Dominguez struck out 2 and Arano struck out 2. Then for Pittsburgh, Taillon struck out 6. Santana struck out none. Crick struck out none, and Vasquez struck out 2. But Marte, Sterling Marte for the Pirates hit his 10th home run of the year with a solo shot, but they still ended up losing 3-2. and then the Minnesota Twins beat the Baltimore Orioles 5-4, and the Orioles are actually having one of the worst seasons other than the White Sox. Even though I know he could do better, but Chris Davis for Baltimore, and it gets kind of confusing because there's two Chris Davises in baseball, but names are spelled differently. The Chris Davis for Baltimore spells his name with a C, but he's actually having one of the worst seasons in baseball this year, a 155 batting average. But he did hit a home run today that kind of raised his average up past the 150 mark. But he's batting 155 on the year, and the home run he hit was his 8th of the year, and it was a 2-run shot. But Manny Machado got his 60th RBI. Chris Davis got 2, 26th and 27th. And then Peterson with his 18th. Gausman struck out 5. Castro struck out none. T. Scott struck out 2, and then Brayton struck out 1. But Castro was responsible for the loss, and it was his 5th loss of the year, and he's got 2 wins and 5 losses. Now Minnesota, I think, came back from being behind. Kepler hit a home run. It was his 10th of the year. And then Wilson, who's their catcher, got 3 RBIs, and then Gibson got the win for Minnesota Twins. He struck out 9, but got his 3rd win and out of 6 losses, because Minnesota doesn't have a very good record either. Hildenberger struck out 1, and then Fernando Rodney, who was a former Cub, struck out 1 and saved the 19th game of the year. The Oakland Athletics beat the Indians 6-3. Oh shit! Hold on. And that was an extra inning game though too. The Athletics beat the Indians in 11 innings. It's been a piece of shit. There. Yeah, it says they won 6-3, but I was trying to see who the hell did what. Let's see. Let's go back to that one I'm trying to find. Yeah, right here. For the Oakland and Cleveland game, let's see who won and who lost. And this, I mean, for pictures of who lost and who won. Treinen got his 5th win of the year from Oakland, and of course he's a relief pitcher, and relief pitchers don't usually get a whole lot. But Tomlin for Cleveland took the loss, and he has yet to win a game this year, which is a good thing, as much as I hate Cleveland. Lowry for Oakland hit a 2-run homer. Chris Davis for Oakland, the one that spells his name with a K, hit a solo shot, and then Piscotty hit his 8th home run of the year, and his was a 2-run shot. Edwin Jackson actually did pitch the game, but he got a no decision. A no decision is better than taking the loss. He struck out 3 and walked 4. Trevino struck out 3, and then Treinen struck out 2. Now, with Edwin Jackson, the bad thing about him is that he's been playing since 2005, and so he's been pitching for 14 years altogether, but he's pitched for 13 teams in 14 years, which is never a good thing. Now, when it comes to Cleveland Indians here, they got 3 RBIs. A couple of them were Encarnacion got an RBI single. It was or sac fly, either one. 62 RBIs on the year. Or it could be a ground out too. Some guy named Allen got his 5th RBI, and Lindor got his 56. Corey Kluber actually got a no decision. He struck out 3. Ramirez struck out 1, but he blew the save. Perez didn't strike out anybody. McAllister didn't strike out anybody. And then this guy named Allen for the pitching wise struck out 1. And then Tomlin took the loss. And that's about it there.